Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a minute, but I miss you so much, and I know I promised some new content this week, but I haven't been able to record since it's the Christmas period, everyone, and now just waiting to usher in the new year. So welcome to my channel, and I'm so glad you decided to join me. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit red button and subscribe. It will really help my channel. So today I'm going to talk about the other part about how I lost my son and how that happened. So I have been really postponing this. I don't know why. I decided to do it one day and then I just feel like I can't do it. But today I decided to do it because I want to start my new year on a high gear and just start on a happy note. So I decided to do it today. So if you haven't checked the last video that I did on infant loss, please do, because you not maybe get where I'll start from, because I'll start from the day we came back home after being discharged at the hospital. So we got back, and that was in, I think, on 24th or 23rd of December, because he was born on 22nd, and we stayed for 2 days at the hospital. So we came back home and we were just having a normal life, and he was really growing fast and adding on weight. He was a very chubby boy if you look at the pictures in my last video. And we stayed in January and February, but in January I noticed he had some, what are they called, I don't remember, but I think they usually come because of the heat. It's like a heat rash. So I took him to the hospital plus the normal injections, and we went through it all until March when they came to an end, and I got all of them. So it was a bit now not quite hectic being with a newborn at home all alone with myself, because my family lives in Nairobi and I live here in Kilifi with my husband. So in April, one Sunday morning, we were just watching a movie in the sitting room, and then I was just holding my baby, and my husband was like, "Can you see what our son is doing with his eyes?" And his eyes were doing something I don't know how to call it. So I told him, "Just relax, it's not anything." But I did not even finish that sentence, and then he like spread his arms and his legs, and he became stiff. And being new parents, we didn't know what was happening or anything, so we just rushed out. My husband rushed out. He wasn't even having any shirt on, but he just rushed out, and I followed him and we went to a hospital. So we went to the hospital, but the conversions, that's what I came to know they are called. The conversions were, they were not as severe. They were coming like, I think, twice. They were like one, two, three. He suffered like three of them the time we were at the hospital. That the first day before he was stabilized, and we stayed in the hospital for 3 days, and he wasn't even breastfeeding well. He would breastfeed and then vomit immediately. So I really had a rough time, because I had a lot of milk, and I had to actually express it in the bathroom, because I couldn't stay like that, because my boobs are all huge with the milk for from all those days, because he was not feeding well. So after that, the doctor, I think they did not even realize what was ailing him, because they didn't even give us the correct diagnosis of what is happening or what is it. They're just checking his temperatures, and that day they said that it's okay now, we can go home and give him the medicine, he'll be okay. And that was in April, I think the end of April in 2017. So we came back home and stayed with our son. I was giving him the medicine. My husband was working, so I was alone in the house. It was quite hectic because I did not know what to do. I tried looking for advice from other people who have children, and after some time, it became like normal again. That was in May. But in May, I noticed the high temperatures were coming back, the fevers were coming back. So I took him to the private hospital again, and they checked him, and they said nothing is wrong with him. So they just give me the paracetamol, this one that brings down the fever, and they will just tell me to just give him and he'll be fine. So after that, I wasn't quite satisfied. I decided to go to a public hospital. I took him to a public hospital, and also they tested his blood and nothing. He wasn't suffering from anything. So they just give me the normal medicine and just tell me just go home and give him this medicine and it will be okay. That was in May 2017. So after that, I think he was okay because I didn't go back to the hospital again. But in June one Saturday, the fever started coming back again. So I took him to the private hospital where they had previously admitted us before. So we went there and they tested his blood again, and they said that he was suffering from malaria. So they gave me the medicine, and the lady told me to just give him the medicine and he will be just fine. So that was on Saturday. We came home, and on Sunday we had the usual breakfast, the three of us as a family, and we were just having our normal day, just how we used to do, watch and just play with him. And I was teaching him on how to sit because he was turning 6 months. So we did the usual routine of showing him and helping him to sit. So that was on Sunday. So on Monday we were just having a normal day, and at night I I came to bed and he was fine. That was, I think, around 11 because he had slept earlier, so I had kept him in bed earlier than the rest of us. So I came and I found him just right and we slept. But during that time, he used to wake up at 4 in the morning, 4 a.m. in the morning, and he would sleep throughout the night. So we woke up the usual at 4 a.m. And the moment I woke up and I looked at my son, he was producing a certain noise. It's not a noise, it's like a sound. It's not a hissing sound. It's a very not normal sound. So I woke up my husband and I told him that our son, if he's not opening his eyes and he's producing this kind of noise, and I think it's not fine. So after some time, I called the doctor, and he told me to just give him a warm bath and just sponge bath him so that, I don't know, maybe the fevers will come down. I didn't even know why I was doing so. But as I was doing that, I thought of calling my grandma, and I told her what was happening, and I put the phone next to my baby so that she could hear the sound that he's making. So she told me immediately to just get out of the house and go to the hospital, like that minute. So we rushed to the hospital. We first out by the private hospital because it's the closest to our home, and they just gave him, they just inserted some tablets on his back to bring down the fever. And after some time, it's like, I think they realized they couldn't handle it because they needed to put in the masks to give him oxygen, and I think they didn't have that, so they asked us to go to the district hospital, which is also not so far. So we decided to go there, and all this time my son's eyes were closed, and still the same noise he was producing is still the same thing. And so we got there at the hospital, and they immediately put the mask to give him oxygen, and he was just there. It's a public hospital, so you share the beds, and they put him there with another baby, and I don't know, after some, they're just attending to him and writing down, asking me to give an occurrence of all that happened, all through what has been happening. So you can imagine, I was giving them an account since April, what was happening, the medicine that they gave him, everything that was happening. So I think he kind of stabilized. So I decided to call my mom because I hadn't called her. I decided to go outside. That was around, I think, 6 a.m. in the morning. So I went out to call my mom and tell her to pray because my son is not feeling well. And as I was outside, I came back, as I was coming into the room where my baby was, I found them doing, like, I think it's a CPR or something, I don't know. Yeah, that one. They were pumping his chest with the machines. I think they were trying to bring him back. And actually I saw my husband crying. He was just looking from a distance and crying. So I went close there and they tried to, I don't remember what this word is called, for like 30 seconds and nothing was happening. So um, I think they gave up. They gave up. They said that they couldn't do anything, and that is the time they told me that we are sorry. We couldn't do anything. We've done all we can. So I'm there, and I'm like, what are these people saying? Like, what are you telling me? I went to bed with my son, and now it's just a few hours now, and he's telling me that you tried all you can. So after that, I think one lady came and she told me to hold my son for the last time. So I took my son, and all I can remember is I really cried out loud because I really questioned God and asking him why I was going through all that, taking him to all those different hospitals and nothing could be found, because if he died like that, it means that something severe was affecting him. But nobody, not even one doctor, found out what was happening, or it's just anything to just prevent all this. So I remember crying out so much and asking my son why, like, he had to leave me, and after all we've been through together, after everything we've been together. And I was just there, and I realized I was alone. Like, my son was not there anymore. Like, he was really gone. He was dead. So they they took him. I don't know. I don't even know what happened afterwards. We didn't even find out what really killed him, I think, and that is something that usually bothers me so much. And I would, I don't know, I would advise a parent, if you're not really sure what killed your baby or someone, just have the test, the post-mortem done, because this is something that really kills someone, and it will stress you, because sometimes I'll just sit down and, because of not knowing, I'll just cry my heart out, cry like from morning to evening, before I got the courage to just move on and accept life as it is. So that that is all the events that happened that day. And I remember coming home, and all his clothes were just there, just like the usual. The medicine that they were there, and some friends removed them so that I could not see them. But the clothes, I still have them, and I'm not even intending on giving them away. We had decided to give them to a children's home, but I would rather just keep them. And I don't know, maybe his brothers or sisters will wear them. And that's what happened. So our parents came from Nairobi, and they are in our country, and the burial happened the next day. And because since it's a child, there wasn't much done, and the ceremony was like 2 hours or so, and we came back home because we didn't take him to a place back in Nairobi. We just buried him here in Kilifi. And I don't know, somehow I feel I'm close to him when I'm here. So I don't know what will happen if I might decide to move out from this place and maybe go to Nairobi or somewhere else. But that is what happened, guys, and it was the most traumatizing moment in my life. And being with my son for 24 hours every day, and then you just wake up and you're just alone. You're used to the routine, you are with him, but now you're all alone, and nothing made sense. I didn't even want to pray to God because I couldn't understand why he would take someone that meant so much to me just like that, just like nothing happened, and you're supposed to go on with your life. So I think I'd rather stop here, guys. And yeah, at least now you know what happened. And in the next video concerning this, I'll tell you guys how I cope living my life like this after losing my son, and especially those mothers who are going through the same pain as I am. I will share some of the tips and what helped me, and how I get by my daily life, and how I just continue living without my son. Yeah, so I'll see you guys in the next video, and please be safe, and I wish you guys a happy new year, and God bless you and your families wherever you